Grand Rising. Marvelous time of the year. The countdown is beginning. The new year is beginning. Here shortly. What we got about 3 weeks left? Barely. Amalu. I don't trust nobody. If it's something you want to, for me at this point in my life, anybody want to say anything to me, shit, I ain't gonna believe anything anybody got to say to me, unless it got something to do with that ka-ching. We ain't really talking about anything. And it's just like my morning ritual, just pondering on everything. And I'm as honest as transparent as I can be with anybody. I ain't no longer an open book. My past, we can talk about that all day long. And people learn to understand it's like, yeah, I did that in my past. That's my past. That's just not who I am currently. And it's like, well, you used to do that, 6 years ago. Okay, that was 6 years ago, 6 weeks ago. I'm all about evolving and evolution, change, healing, all that other stuff. And the reason being why I don't trust people, because when it comes to money, people will do anything for the money, honey. It don't matter how long it takes. Like, it's been so cold to a point, it's like, I know when people are racist. It ain't no reason, really behind it to be racist against anything that's basically of your bloodline. But however, it's like, if we're going to speak on bloodlines, let's speak on the truth about what's going on in between them lines. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to talk about it, you got to know about it and understand it. And it's like, it's plenty of things that I know and I understand. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, it comes from the lowest of the low, the lowest plans that you can ever, put yourself in to even think about or worry about, to even say, like, hey, that's just the way it is. Like, for me, on some Tupac type time. It's just, it is what it is. And it's like one of those scenarios. It's like people will look for every which way. Like, I've seen shit so cold where people, like, if you got good connects, you can get somebody to shut down somebody's phone, or depending on where it's connected, like, say with your phone, right? And out here in Puerto Rico, they biggest like internet company is like Liberty, which is kind of like offline to AT&T, which, reason being why they do get, LG through T-Mobile as well. But most of the time, like, the internet is like, I think it's Claro and Liberty. Liberty, like I said, is through AT&T. However, here's the kicker. If a person knows the company, anybody that knows, when you get, Wi-Fi and stuff like that, it comes with a preset code. And most of the time, most people don't know to change those codes or anything like that, or change the name of it or anything, because, you're not really thinking about that. You're just like, hey, I just want my internet up and running or whatever. Choosing not to, depending on, you don't know if that person that works for the company is janky or not. You don't know what their involvements are inside the job or outside the job. So for me, when it came from people fixing, like, my car, when my tires started getting messed up, like, when stuff started happening with my car and stuff like that, that's how I had figured out. The dude I was, kicking it with, well, I wasn't even really kicking it with him. It was just like, he was, oh, I was just a placeholder for your pain. Technically, but, in technicality, what I'm saying? It was all on me. Shit, I should have known not to fuck with you from the way, like, what, like, you scared to even give me your number, stuff like that. Okay, I should have just kept you where you were at. Like, I learned a lot of something, but it was just like wrapping my head around everything about how dangerous certain games can get. Like, people will go so far to try to hide secrets, especially men. And if you think about it, when a man about to get caught up, especially when it comes to his secrets and shit like that, and he about to get tripped up on it, they get super aggressive. all the way down to a point where, oh, I'm going off her, I'm gonna do this, da, da, da. Okay, you going too far because it's a secret. Well, shit, especially if you're a married person, and like, from, with me, like, I'm a committed person. I'm a long-term person. I don't do all the, okay, if we're gonna be kicking it like that, I promise you your feelings is gonna get more involved than mine is, because it's like, oh, I'm a man, I can get detached. Baby, you gotta understand, my past life, I was more of a man, and more of a man who, like, I don't know what kind of man I was, but I know the man that I was, it was a little zesty. It get a little spicy, but however, I know in my past life, I held authority. I knew people would respect me, and they understood, like, hey, probably in my past life, I probably was alone, because it was like, it's not worth it with any of that. Like, people be acting like it's brand new. Like, for me, like, hey, some of these dudes is just really zesty, and they just like to be zesty. And there's some people that's zesty because they haven't ever got their feet wet or tested or had a person strong in love. Like, baby, it ain't no such thing. Oh, it's bi. I go both. Okay, you go both ways. However, at the end of the day, it's still monogamy in the whole situation, because once you guys, collided to make a flame, aka why they say talk about twin flame relationships and dumb shit like that with these names. Excuse me. You bring two things together, the flame can burn effectively. You bring in more a fire into those flames, you're looking to have a combustion. Reason being why you shouldn't add crazy, crazy as I'm speaking, it's a rainbow. So, just to not jeopardize mine, it's a rainbow. I can't make this stuff up as I'm speaking on this. And this is how I know, like, for me, the Most High is doing something for me. And me seeing rainbows is my only connection to, it is a double one. This is my only connection to my kids that passed on. See, it's a double rainbow. But it's like, when people don't like nothing, or you don't like something about somebody, keep it to yourself. And me, I won't ever trust a soul again but myself and my children. Anything that I push out of my womb, I can decipher when they telling me a lie. I can decipher when they telling me the truth. However, like how my children come to me, I understand that they understand that when it comes to mommy, I'm going to always speak the truth. And it's like, regardless of where you go in this world, I knew for me that in this lifetime, me reincarnating into a black person is the hardest thing in the world in life. You know what's the main saying? Because it's like black women get this whole thing, and don't, God forbid, you a black single woman with kids, baby, you done got a triple whammy. Like, black men be like, it's already odd against me. I'm black and then I'm gay. Okay, man, that's all the fuck you gotta worry about, is being black and being gay. Okay, yes, people gonna look at you like, the little sensitive biatch that you are, you know what I'm saying? And that's just your thing. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. That's the only strike you got against you. But as a black woman, baby, you got to understand the mental and the issue that a black woman has to go through. Hence me. I'm single. I'm by myself. Most of the time it's by choice, because I don't really require friends or anything, because like I said in my story, I spent my whole fucking life by myself. Friends, okay, I tell people with a quickness, I'm not the greatest friend, because it's like, I'm not for to be the one to call on you every second of the day. And then it's like, if I am doing that and you're not returning that and you're not reciprocating that, I can't fuck with you anyway. I've been so betrayed that it's like, to a point I couldn't even trust our veteran affair system for veterans going to war. I couldn't trust that system. I couldn't trust the medical system, because it was doctors. And then I couldn't trust the teachers in the school system. Why? Because all it bored down to the guy that I was with. And it's like, you're Hispanic and you're going to get your own people. But then it was like, on top of it, it's like, not even that you're going to get your own people. It's like, baby, you over here under full frost pretenses. You married in the same sex relationship, over here entertaining me for some money, and then be like, oh, your family is BS. And then he'd be quick to talk about his own family, like, okay, your family is more deeply involved in this, a little bit deeper. But then it's like, you talking about it to certain people on the street, ha ha kiki about me, taking pictures of me in my sleep. Like, my biggest thing, and it's like the biggest regret, is just like, I'm not going to keep, losing sleep at night knowing it's just like I already lost a life. And when that person came into my life, I should have recognized within myself to understand, like, to warp my head around, mental health. Like, dude, like, it was one of those where I had to understand, like, where was I emotionally? And it was the same thing that I had to think back when I got married to, my second husband in 2014. It was just like, shit, where was I mentally or emotionally? Because that's why, one of my homegirls, like, she was like my closest friend. Like, I call her my sister. And it was just like, she even looked at me and was like, Rita, this is not you. This is not you, because they know it was me that when it came to them and somebody, come barking up and sniffing up their tree, oh, we gonna want a relationship, and they'd be like, nah, honey, that ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? I was the person that come in for them, like, and let them test the water so they can see what I was talking about. And they'll be like, oh, Rita, you was right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, have your fun for a night and keep it pushing. For me, in my situation, how I did in my past, is you bae for the day or is you just bae for the night? Because it's like, people will try to shame you to feel bad about how you try to make your dreams come true. Baby, I'm not living for you. Y'all doctors, lawyers, judges, nurse practitioners, people working for fucking Google, y'all working for major fucking companies. And you coming for little old me. Oh, she had 7 kids. Okay, shit. Sorry, baby, that you wasn't able to hold on to none of your pregnancies. I apologize for that, because I was the person cheering you on for any time that you did conceive, anytime that you was miscarrying, anytime you was, crying because it was like, I'm ready for my own family. I was there in your corner. Down to the LGBT, ITA, ADG, HIV, whatever the fuck y'all want to call these days. I was there. You was supposed to be my closest gay friend. This is why I don't do friends. It won't be in no gay community, straight community, heterosexual, demi, none of that shit. Spiritual, I don't want nobody fucking friendship at this point in my life, because y'all will do anything for the dollar. You out here believing any and everything that everybody else had to say versus verifying, hey, did my baby daddy, okay, go talk to your baby daddy. You should know when they lying already. You should know when they being conniving, because the only thing that you know of this person or people to be conniving, low down, dirty, low down, dirty shame. Some of them are shameless. They ain't got no shame in their game. Dude I was with, he was willing to play the game as long as he needed to strategize to get his money, to get to the clout and fame. But it's like, in the name of fame, keep my secret hush. Nah, baby. You like it up the dookie shoot more than I do. And I like it too, but it is like, shit, you like it way more than I do. And shit, the full picture of it is 2 and 2. Shit, if you look at booty too, you sucking dick as much as I do. So it's like, none of that. Please don't ban me, YouTube, but it's just the truth. It's the truth of the matter of it. And most of the time, that people that can hold anything against you is due to a secret. Ain't no secret to me. Ain't no recipe to me. Ain't no mix to me. It's called authenticity. I'm going to stand in my power. Why? Because I was that little girl when people was trying to steal that power. So when I made sure, when I had my little girls wasn't going to be called stank, B, dirty, whore, pig. My kids, my daughters, most definitely not going to be called none of that. Boys, is natural that they find that shit entertaining and funny and hilarious. Only difference is I ain't got no wang to teach them how to pee in the toilet. One is still in pull-ups. One got murdered. The other one, you know what I'm saying? And the other one, he's a teenager. He got about 5 more years until the world is ready for him to come on in. And yet I had a man that had a tendency that, hey, he was not only was, you know what I'm saying, was he gay? You was a gay pedophile at that? That's the worst feeling in the world. I still remember having conversations with these men's mom. Like, y'all as women, as a mother, you know when your child is tutti fruit, we're all rooted, okay? Tutti fruity, all rooted. I understood why my great grandma liked that. My great grandma had her secret lover, which, mind you, she was a deacon at the church. They was pastors and deacons and usher boys at the church. But you want to know what? I don't know. She was what, 70 something when she died. But Miss Chestnut always made us lemon cake and stuff like that. Grandma didn't work for anything. My great grandma. But come to find out, she was in the closet the whole time. When Jay-Z was talking about that, like, shit, his mama did the best that she could. The truth of the matter of it is, she had to keep that shit a secret because it amongst the black community, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? A gay man was one thing, but a lesbian woman was a whole different thing, and people didn't understand that back in them days. But back in them days, most of the times when people used to go gay or go, the other way or go both ways, it was due to the simple fact because y'all kept sweeping under the rug that was happening at these churches or at these homes, and y'all don't want to talk about it. Dude, I was with shit. He taught me how his whole molestation before he even left. He was here in October. As of October 2023, he saw his molester in a full flesh. What are you gonna do about it? I had a peer conversation with him. I'm right beside, and I told this man straight up to his face, I am right beside you. I am here with you. However, in order for him to have healed that whole situation, he didn't understand that the only reason why he was over there dipping and dabbing and playing and hustling and stuff like that, because shit, not only was he breaking women's heart, he was breaking these, gay dudes' hearts too, because you trying to fill them a dream. Yeah, I'm gonna be with you. They was buying my fits and my shoes. I know they was, but you was sitting there hiding in front of your dudes, acting like you the dude, but you really ain't the dude. You getting bent over too. Oh, you mad at me for speaking the truth? The truth comes out whenever hey, we owe no loyalty. We owe no secrecy. We don't owe none of that. Cause I'm gonna tell the truth from A to Z. You just gonna tell the truth from A to B to see where it can go if you can make it to D. But I'm gonna tell the truth from A to Z. Ain't no misstepping around here. I'm gonna always speak in truth. I'm gonna always stand in truth. I can speak on what it is that I go through and how I had to get through it. But to feel like you can set me up, call police, CPS, DCF, Board of Education, stealing my money, my mail, try to like, it's been going on for years where, especially if you're a person that was on Medicaid, Social Security, or you get some kind of benefit from your government, depending on who you are a target. If you're a single mother and you got more than like 2 or 3 kids, you're even more of a target. They could put you in laboring and breeding, financial. They could put you in these programs unbeknownst to you because you signed some contracts without really the relic. They don't see the relic. You're not reading what's in the small print. Small print is saying that I can take your blood. Small print is saying that I can use these documentations for third parties to research whatever it is that I need to research up. And in the midst of it, that's when all these miraculous, programs come about. Oh, we got a wig and we got this. Like, nah, baby. It's like you contaminating us. But then it's like, y'all ain't noticed with chicken, when chicken had changed shit. Chicken changed early between like, by 2006, that's when I noticed shit was in with the chicken. By 2002, that's when I knew it was something going on with the beef. It didn't taste the same. But then it's like everybody forgetting the mad cow's disease, the chicken outbreak. But yet we still eating chicken. We still eating beef. Okay, that's cool, whatever the case may be. However, is it made genetically, or are these the chickens on steroids, or are these the natural wild ones? And the only ones that you're gonna get naturally that are wild, they either out in the country or out in a different country, like third world country, is where you could actually get fresh chicken. Beef, okay, it's a little iffy because the beef out here on the island, they look very, very sickly. From all the damn cows and shit that I'm seeing in Puerto Rico, baby, them motherfuckers look sickly. Okay? The horses look sickly. Yeah, I mean, if you go in particular areas, the high-end areas, that people that got their horses, them horses is well fed and taken care of. But, Anything else, stray dogs, stray cats. The biggest, oh, other thing, the okie doke on the plots, like the biggest scheme is the police. But most of the time, it be the male police. And some of the, like, if there's a female police out here in Puerto Rico, what I learned, if it's a female police and she's super friendly with all the dudes in there, 10 times out of 10, she got smashed by one of them dudes. Most of the time, it's probably the sergeant or the captain or a few of the dudes. Most of them got attachments or connections to the hood. And those people that's connected to them, shit, most of the time, shit, my research is so cold for fucking Puerto Rico. It's to a point, I'm looking up the lawyers, the judges, the doctors. I did this on my own VA thing, and this is how I knew it's like y'all was messing with my shit. But considering that they can put diagnosis on your paper, and mind you, court systems only look at black and white. So it's just like, I'm gonna let y'all keep running on like, oh, she crazy, she's this shit. Baby, I'm more insane and more intact than you will ever be. But I'll guarantee you probably losing your mind, going crazy. It's like, how do you know these things? Don't worry, baby. It's called clear analytics, observation, take out emotion, and get out of your fucking feelings because you want to keep the money. It's the dollar bills, y'all. Somebody's been doing this shit since like fucking 95, 96. How dare you do this to your own people? It gets down to a point that they will take away a person's life. Mind you, these will be people that will show up, rental cars. Mind you, they live on the island. Why are you renting a car? And I'm in the 2022. I done damn near made it across from one side of the island to the other half. If I had kept going, shit, yeah, you could probably go around. You could go around Puerto Rico more quicker than a day, depending on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? If you're just trying to see everything, then you know what I'm saying, it's gonna take you a day. But if you just sitting there and just trying to ride around the fucking island, you can get around this whole island more than a day. Now trying to travel inland and stuff like that, it get a little bit difficult because if you don't know how to ride the mountains and stuff like that or get around, because some of these people be driving wild as hell when they be hitting these corners. However, for me, discovering like how close it was, it's just like in relationships, if you're a single parent and a man coming into your life, be mindful of homosexuals. Be mindful of a man coming to you around text time, when it's getting cold. Okay, he only coming with a duffel bag or something like that. Baby, leave him the fuck alone. I learned it the hard way. I'm trying to save somebody with some free game. Leave them the fuck alone. If it's a motherfucker in a high position, a high-end position or whatever, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. And they not asking about relevant situations or talking about anything that's can educate you, elevate you, or it could be possibility inspire you, let it go. Reason being, I do not do small talk. If you got small talk, okay, and I'm gonna keep it fucking moving. But if you say something slick, don't be surprised if I do turn around and say something to you. 9 times out of 10. I'm gonna say 9 times out of 10, because it could be that 1% where it just be that day. You could probably just have caught me on that day. But it's most likely that you're not gonna catch me on that day, considering that it's like, hey, I gotta keep on my A game now. Now that I gotta keep on my A game, considering that, hey, I noticed that in certain areas when a shooting was about to go down, especially on the east side, when like living on the east side of the island over here, like San Juan, like it usually be like San Juan, Carolina area, Rio Piedras, Rio Grande area, Malpica area, all that shit over there, right? These motherfuckers are so cold. But mind you, just like, it would be like, how is it that it takes 45 minutes for the police to show up? Mind you, you're letting the federal government, because mind you, some of these police stations they're getting funded by the federal government. USA federal government. It's only the police, particular hospitals, judges, lawyers. Craziest thing is like how you got so many law offices, but it's more notary notary law offices that I notice out here. And it's just like, where's your personal injury law offices? Where's the other ones? And then it's like, when you research it, it's like, why are we only minimized to 4? But then when I'm looking at it, you looking up Oh, we are bilingual. You get there, you start talking to them. And it's just like, okay, especially in your prestigious buildings out here in Puerto Rico, because it's like the setup, it's like, it's not as cold as it was when I was dealing with it in the United States. But I knew when it was going on with me in the United States, I actually had good therapists, okay? Dr. Porter Carrero and Dr. Castro, y'all were A1, top notch. Like, it was no funny business. And the craziest thing of it is, like, any of the therapists that I got were, I think he was Argentinian and the other one was Cuban. Conversations were so cold that we could be talking about anything historic, historically, anything that we had to talk about, even when it came to mental diagnosis and stuff like that. And it was just one of those, I knew the psychiatrist was looking at me like, you are outstanding for us to diagnose you with these things and you dealing with these things. He knew, but he knew that he couldn't even put it on fucking paper. Like, hey, y'all trying to say she's schizo or bipolar or depressed and stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's just she's struggling to try to figure out. And once my psychologist and psychiatrist, which they work together, came together, mind you, this is VA, okay, MICM program. Why is it that you have a MICM program here in Puerto Rico and y'all don't utilize it? Which I figured out which doctors, because it's like, how y'all doctors in a Veterans Affairs place and y'all don't talk amongst each other? Because there's not one connection that you should not have when it comes to you working inside the Veterans Affairs. On top of that, it's like y'all want to eat but like 154, you know, Jessica Ponte Colon, like she was dope, you know what I'm saying? She was doing her job, but then it was like it was other people behind the scenes. Then it was like I started working with a social worker from the pediatric hospital down in Centro Medico in Rio Piedras. And it's just like, okay, well, if I'm working with you, you're supposed to be social work. Social work should be able to have contact to people at Social Security, Medicaid, diaper, anything that is somebody that needs, especially in pediatrics and special needs children. You should be able to have access to all of that. How is it that you not have access to that? How is it that y'all not able to communicate? Oh, you need to call. Hold on. Y'all are the CMS, Medicaid. Why are y'all not communicating amongst each other? Because y'all understand that you not communicating amongst each other is causing work for others. And them, you causing that work on, I don't care if this is a person taking care of a special needs family member, an elderly family member, you leaving them wide open for open death and open casualty without it being an injury to the government, because it's like, well, shit, they should have just got their papers like we're supposed to. Why are you still moving on paper, but you charging all these tourists 180 plus a day for hotel stays that you ain't even renovated? Half the time they got roaches or critters up in the fucking room. Y'all be out here pulled up talking about, oh, we spraying the place, but I ain't seen shit being sprayed. You still be having infestations. Then on top of that, your Airbnbs and stuff like that. These are people that these are actual homes. These are supposed to be Airbnbs, but you charging me like I stayed in Santurce. But where I was staying in Santurce, I knew like what he was charging me for where I was staying at. I was like, the price and me staying here, this ain't no motherfucking luxury. Paying $1,200, I should at least have got a 3-bedroom, $1,200 sitting in a fucking condo. But yet I'm in Santurce under the underbridge where all the fucking crackheads and shit is at. All the junkies and druggies, you can name it. But then it was like when I first got there, the street is quiet. But as soon as I got in and got settled, here go the floors in that house was so fucking hollow. I was like, this motherfucker either hiding a body or money in this bitch. And then it's like, I gotta pay y'all through PayPal. Y'all ain't got like no direct deposit or none of this set up. Oh, our attorney, I was like, well, shit, looking up these forms that y'all got, y'all just made up simple LLCs and charging me. It was the same place when I stayed in Rio Piedras. Okay, yes, it was a 4-bedroom. It had plenty of space or whatever the case may be. However, it's the kicker that if I wasn't mistaken, the girl from upstairs, same amount of space. I think she probably had 1 bedroom less. But she was only paying 800 and I'm paying 16. While this 1600 that you telling everybody, oh, you didn't pay the light bill. Honey, first of all, the light bill wasn't discussed, for one. Two, You knew I was trying to get out of an abusive relationship. You offered for me to go ahead and stay before the contract. So you knew you should have adjusted the dates. And instead of you adjusting the dates, oh, you wasn't supposed to leave until August, baby. I left in fucking June. Thanks to you and your bullshit, because y'all was supposed to have came and did work throughout the house throughout the year. Y'all only came and fixed whatever it was I was complaining about. But then even then, oh, I'm waiting on this payment. Okay, I'm paying you $1,600. If this place is already paid for, the $1,600 that I'm giving you should have been more to pay for the water and light bill for where I was staying and rent. Then on top of that, the girl staying upstairs, you didn't bother, like, got her a new stove, washing machine, you name it. I wasn't getting nothing new up in there. But then it was like, it was a setup, and I understood the experiment because I was like, okay, she's a nurse. Then when it came to the next time, it was another person that's quote unquote moved up above me, two dudes and a girl. But then it was like looking at them, it was just like, okay. And the guy, when he came down to talk to me, was like, oh, I'll give you money for you letting me use the electricity. Little did he know, baby, I wasn't going to pay for no motherfucking electricity, because it was like, I knew for a fact that my intuition was telling me somebody's running game. And I knew it was game being ran due to the simple fact, as everything is going, at first, the neighbors was quiet, but now all of a sudden they loud, making noises. And in San Juan, the houses real close to each other. I can't stand that shit. Like, bitch, I do not want to wake up and hear you. I don't want to hear all that shit. Shut the fuck up. And then it's like your son coming off at his high. You needed to get on your high. Your husband trying to leave the motherfucking house just to go to work to get away from both of y'all motherfuckers. You salty because shit, he know you a base head, and he over here shit. Okay, I just might be a breath of fresh air. And it's just like, oh, she's pretty too. She keep herself in shape. Well, bitch, don't get mad at me. Get yourself back in fucking order so your man can look at you. Shit, I'll be willing. Hey, you just need me to step in. He ain't gonna touch me, and neither are you. But shit, if it's gonna get y'all to get it busting down in the bedroom, shit, get it busted down in the bedroom. But don't be trying to take it out on me, because okay, you're not gonna control what it is that he do. Okay, what he don't do, the next person will do. Whether it's a man, woman, do it, they or fucking them. What someone else won't do, somebody else is willing to do. So what are your standards for you? And me, I had to realize, like, it was a struggle to wrap my head around somebody that I was like, bro, I gave you my world. Like, I had your back. Like, even when he was lying, and I understand when you love somebody unconditionally, like, that motherfucker be sitting there telling bold-faced lie, and you just sitting there looking at that motherfucker in amazement, like, wow, you did all that? Wow, okay. But when we get home, we're gonna talk about that. But you salty because you knew you was lying. But it's like you want to take it out on me. So taking it out on me requires you to go into the school that my son was going to and try to tell them something, because it's like, why are you bringing me back a CPS? Oh, he's not talking or nothing like that. But I figure out on top of that, like, you're working with my family behind my back and figuring out, like, you know what I'm saying? Some of my family, they Puerto Rican too. I got Puerto Rican family, so it's just like, y'all motherfuckers coming for me real hard for the wrong reason. But shit, I realize it's just like some of these women, like I said, from the women's where I gained my confidence, but some of these motherfucking women is reason being why I understand to still stay on my ruthless shit, because it'll be a motherfucker willing with the quickness to try to take shit from you. Like, how you trying to set somebody up and be like, oh, I want to talk to her? Yeah, motherfucker, you were just being told about what it is that I did. But instead of saying what was done or figuring out what was done, oh shit, this is her. Oh shit, she got a kid. Yeah, they was missing out on details about what it is that was really going on in the end, though. But you was willing to go ahead and try to take my life or try to make me go crazy. Like, again, people that, if you own government assistance and they know that for a fact that you've been through some kind of domestic situation, some kind of abuse, regardless of what it is, actual, mental, emotional, financial. If the government is well aware that this type of situation has happened and been taken advantage of you, you're more susceptible and more of a victim or a person to be a product of the government trying to off you for insurance money, because like people on government assistance shit, if you really know how to open it, which is the reason being why a lot of people be like, why doesn't your son have a nurse and stuff like that? Puerto Rico gets Medicaid to be able to do that. But then it's like, you got to figure out how to do that. Like, my son needs a neurologist. I got to pay $600 for him to see a fucking neurologist. It's Medicaid. So why are you a doctor listed on a Medicaid list, but you telling me I gotta pay $600? My son was supposed to get like a feeding machine. And with the feeding machine, when you're putting in the fucking order, you put the machine, the bags, the syringes, and the food. Oh, well, we didn't get approval. How is it that you're not getting approval for all of this? Oh, you need to call back. Okay, why am I got to keep calling when y'all could have just picked up the fucking phone and had to connect with the next company to say, hey, we've been sending you this authorization. Oh, will we be having to wait 3? Okay, I don't have 3 to 7 days to be waiting for you to do all that. So now I got a kid that got to, damn near starve because y'all can't figure out shit with the Medicaid. And now here it is, DCF and CPS taking quick opportunity because they know that, hey, if we get this kind of kid in our system, shit, that's generate money. But everybody's trying to figure it out, like, how that's weird, that's awful, that's funny. But then it's like, but baby, is money involved in this? The average pay, even for a fucking judge or a lawyer living here, confirmation, I don't even think y'all making it past 75K out here. 80K if you lucky. How you driving, a luxury 2022? Y'all got 2022 luxury cars that's worth more than your fucking salary. Explain that to me. Light company. How is the lights is ridiculous. Because most of the light come out here, shit, you can get it from outside. But the light company, like, why are we getting $300, $400, $500 bills? Where are y'all taking, like, y'all shortening somebody somewhere? The electrical cert is not as big as it should be for here for the entire island, for one. So yes, solar panels are somewhat useful for people here on the island, and it'll be, more cost efficient. However, it's more expensive for people to get that shit. And it's like, for me to be in this area where I'm at right now and seeing that this whole building is basically Tesla out with solar panels, it's probably like maybe, I could say maybe 3 or 4 houses. And then it's a church. All the hotel, the Airbnb, and then these 3, 4 houses with panels. But why not the church? But then it's like, it's all surrounded by cameras. But the biggest thing of it is, a lot of the cars here are the people that be coming to the place because I pay attention who coming in, who coming out, who riding through, who not riding out. I'm going to pay attention to every single last one of those. Oh, that car wasn't here before. Y'all have to pay attention to that. And then it's like, you don't know what another person is going through before you go ahead and say, hey, I want piece of it in too. You that damn greedy that you want piece of it in, that you about to destroy everything. I've seen people destroy everything. Like, broski, you wanted to be that man, you ain't that man. Your homeboy wanted to be that man, he ain't the man. He was covering his up by sleeping with big women, big girls. You covering up trying to sleep with every stripper girl that you can see, or somebody that looked like an exotic fantasy shit. He didn't care if it was a man or a woman, but his real thing was a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, the last situation, y'all out here dealing with men. But then it was like, I was secretly seeing that it was some women just as cold as these men sleeping with, they friends. But then it's like, some of y'all, it's people that's into that sister wives, like, oh, these are my best friends. We're buddies. Yeah, y'all buddies. Y'all just know that these are the trusted couple that y'all are into, that y'all can have y'all little, shaboink-a-boink going on. Because y'all just know, like, hey, these are a trusted couple. We can do, get our little urges off. Because it's like, really and truly, spicy time needs to be spicing up. Your quick little 1-2, hitting them, you can hit every position that there is in there. But most people don't test themselves to say, hey, let's try all 108 positions. But, that's called Kama Sutra, a little bit of tantric practice. But no, people, don't tend to get into none of that because they be like, oh, I want her and I want him. Ooh, I want that one. Ooh, face asses. Can't have enough. Can't stop till you get enough. Somebody's name is Michael. Somebody's last name is Jackson. Somebody's name is MJ. Somebody's name is Marie, Maria, Martha, Mendez, Martinez, Hernandez, Ortiz, Ortez, Cortez, Joshua, Josh, Lara, Gilbert, Gillian, Alanis, Anise, Aya, Amaya, Amira, Jix, Jaxus, something, Zeta, Jada, Zion, Marley, Marco, Mello, Mel, Blanco. Somebody's about to get a RICO charge. Somebody gonna get caught up for premeditated. Cause it's like somebody's about to try to go after somebody, and they underestimating the heck out of this situation. They feel like either one, they feel like somebody's small, or they feel like somebody's too big and that they'll get out of breath too quick. It's also somebody planning to try to cut something off or cut somebody off in traffic. So be mindful when driving. Also, somebody's going to try to cut something off. Also, be mindful with your cars as well. You know what I'm saying? If for my car, I knew like my car has been tampered with. So it's like not much that I could do anything with it because it's like it's too many people involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we're gonna have y'all motherfuckers is faking shit. Like I can spot a fake person when I see it. So it's like I can carry on the bullshit just as long as you carry on the bullshit. But let's understand. Don't ever feel like your demon is way bigger than mine because I'm gonna see you before you see me. Because I will allow you to feel like you see me clearly. Oh, she's so sweet. She's so bubbly. Baby, but understand, war was invented by me. Pick and choose battles. But a war, I plan to win every time. Ain't no surrendering. Ain't no waving the white flags. We're paying attention to every green flag. We're gonna pay attention to every white flag, but a red flag, we done seen that, and we could call that from a distance. Like a person try to do a blackout, like you try to take my life and my kids. That's why it's like when it comes to man ever again, you ain't letting till my kids is 18. I'm cool with it. I can still do my quick 1-2, but having a man around my kids ever again, nah. Having women around my kids ever again, nah. None of that. Shit, like my last baby daddy, I had made it clear, like if he was gonna be around me, he had to stop dealing with his family, and that was on God. My kids will never be around there. Oh, do my kids. I don't give a fuck about none of that. My kids won't even be around you. Should I will be the statistic that the people love to talk about. Oh, you a single mom with kids. I am. I am. And I'm doing just fine. Start singing that song. I'm just doing just fine. Somebody from Philadelphia. Yeah, somebody like, also somebody gonna figure out that I don't know if it's a music artist or somebody that they really into is really, or a person that they with is a man. Somebody gonna be discovering that a person that somebody gonna be thinking somebody is talking to a woman, right? I don't know who this woman is, but they gonna find out that this woman is a full-fledged man. I don't know how somebody gonna discover this. It's like this motherfucker been passing as a woman all this time. I don't know if this is in the music industry or what, but somebody is gonna be like, because I remember telling the last dude, like, I ain't worried about these other chicks or none of that shit. I'll be more concerned about a nigga in your situation. And I was 1000% right. But it was just like, shit, you was playing with my life in the wrong way, baby. So it's just like, shit, it's only right for me to return the favor. But yeah, for real, somebody like it's a man and they look, you know what I'm saying, very beautiful. But somebody gonna figure out the details about what it is that's gonna figure out like, hey, this is a man, bruh. That's a man. They may have got the bottom surgery, so it's just like, so this may have been a man, but he actually did the full transition. Like I could call this person a full trans. Um, but yeah, it was a man. Like this is like if you know about the corn star Jasmine Lotus, then somebody gonna figure out what I'm saying. She go look up who Jasmine Lotus is in the corn industry. And you go see what I'm saying. The motherfucker look like a girl, but it is full fledged a man. Okay, like the last dude, Josh, that I dealt with, like, bruh, he was a bold one. Like I thought my ex-husband was horrible. Shit, he was messing with young boys. This one was just like he act like he looking at every girl when he thought I was peeping him looking at the girls. Now I'm peeping you looking at the dudes, and you thinking I ain't paying attention to you, homie. Like, bruh, like you in a same sex relationship, and then it's like all your homeboys calling. Like he had this boy Raw always calling the phone. Like that's your boyfriend. And then it's like he had his one friend that was a Capricorn dude in the crib. And I always used to wonder why this dude always coming in huffing and puffing, like trying to puff out his chest. But all it was, shit, he was just trying to relieve the stress of trying to breathe and put his breath together after they was putting it up each other's dookie chute. Oh, I need to take a shower. You do? Okay. Why your drawers look like that? Why your drawers wet? You always tucking, like he was always tucking his dangling and stuff like that. It's like, all right, it makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? At that point, he made complete sense to me. And then it was just like some of his other download dudes, because they was into like drugs and stuff like that. He was into, popping pills and stuff like that. So in San Tuesday was a dude that he was talking to, but of course any drug dealer most of the time, 9 times out of 10, not all of them, but the mass majority of them, they be messing with the broskies. And him, what I'm saying, I was like, I already had put the pieces together, because he will always want to put on a ski mask, which made me know, like, okay, you got an OnlyFans, but I just couldn't figure out what email it was that he was using, because he didn't have like 5-6 different emails I had found on the computer. So it's just like, once you discover what a person is, most of the time these people will tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have met him in like June, July of 21. By November, as a matter of fact, he kind of like admitted to me that, he was sleeping with men, and it was like he slipped up, but it was after my son had died. But then it was just like, okay, I'm thinking that, he's going to talk about it. But then it was like, I'm the type of person, once you bring it up, cool. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We ain't got to talk about it. We ain't going to dwell about it. But just, my main question, are you still on that type of time or not? Like, I'm a person, I'm going to think some shit through. But then it's like, once he decided not to just tell the truth, and it was just like, you being mean, you being rude, I get, you know what I'm saying? I left him alone. By June 2022, I was done with him, because it was like he was being rude, he was being mean, whatever the case may be. Got a rental, whatever. Get out here to good old Puerto Rico. Things going great. But his attitude just made clear sense to me, like, okay, this is not going to work. Like, we're going on to these most beautiful places in the world, and I can't enjoy it because you keep being rude and mean towards me. And that's when it was like, he bring up my baby daddies, and I was just like, at this point, by the second time, actually by the third time when he brought it up in the midst of an argument, that's how I knew, like, okay, you working with them as well, on top of the people that, it's like, how do you know? It's like, how do you know Rizzy? Like, motherfucker, I grew Rizzy up. What are you talking about? Now, I didn't expect for him to do that, but then it was just like, shit, me knowing who his mama is, like, shit is given why the kid went like that. But then, it was like one of those, it's neither here nor there, but it's just like, could you be real? And I understood that he could not ever be fucking real. And then it's like, you a grown ass man. You went through, this kind of abuse, and instead of you being so stunted in this damn abuse that, clearly, instead of you telling your mama, like, hey, mom, this was just my experience, she gonna probably, be a little bit upset, but you could have went to your mama like, hey, I saw my person that, he did this to me. Like, nigga, we was right there. We could have handled that shit, but you chose not to. So it's just like, it made it clear as day, like, you a coward, and it's like, you're getting bent over. So, like, it made clear sense to me. So it's just like, paying attention to that. The same thing with some of these judges and lawyers is like, I'll go to particular places ready to go buy my food or order whatever, but y'all blatantly ignore me. Carry on. Mind you, I'm sitting here in the direct view where this person cannot miss me. You're ignoring me? Cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how I knew. It's like, y'all riding around with motorcycles, loud ass music and shit like that. And it's just like, okay, I'm not nosy like y'all. I don't care to know what's going on. But if it's like, shit, if y'all need to come, handle some business, handle that shit like on man to man, hombre to hombre, as the white dude was telling me. Like, woman to woman, come handle that shit woman to woman. And it's like, take that ass whooping how you gotta take that ass whooping, but shit, get up from it. But instead of like trying to create this facade of, oh, I love you and all this other stuff, please don't fall for that. Please don't fall for that. It's people willing to just trying to take your joy, take your happiness, and take away from you things that was meant for you. And for me, what I'm saying, it was like, that was 2 years of fucking hell, bro. Wasn't nothing happy about it. I went to the most beautiful places in the world, and I could not ever be fucking happy because I have to deal with racist, self-centered, hateful ass, greedy ass, spiteful, sinful ass, fake ass, wannabe Christian people. Because y'all want to get politics involved. I was minding my business. I don't watch the news because I can already see through what's going on in the news. I don't go back to filing for federal or government jobs due to the simple fact that, hey, I got it enough in me that, hey, the morning star, Lucifer, I can turn into that motherfucker real quick. I'll be the motherfucker where you be like, that's espionage. The Espionage Act that ain't been used since 1918. I will be the epitome in the fucking poster child of that shit. Let the right country come get me with the right amount of money. I'll teach y'all how to do that effectively. But instead, it's like I wanted to put it back into my own country. Well, shit, Puerto Rico been treated as the bald-headed stepchild, and all I'm trying to do is get y'all out of trying to be the bald-headed stepchild so y'all can actually step in power. But y'all power, y'all using the recklessly of killing your own people on the island. On top of coming after me because of some money to conceal your identity and your secrets and your sins. Too bad, so sad. I don't even know half of who y'all are. But I can tell you ain't got no self-respect, let alone no self-worth, let alone no fucking integrity or dignity. You definitely showing that you shameless. You gotta set it. It take all of y'all for one of me. How you catching on to this? Baby, you feel like you concealing your identity? It's down to a fact where it's a motherfucker so cold. I know he a police officer from the other side of the fucking island with his wife, his mama and daddy, and his child. You that bold to take it that far? Know the difference in different type of wedding bands for men. Somebody need to look into that. I don't know why my husband wanted me to buy that one, but it was so cool. Now you over here living in Adam's theory. Go listen to Lauryn Hill's song, Adam Lives in Theory. Somebody's living real life, Adam and Eve. Somebody's actually living real life. Okay, y'all talked about Jesus so much. What would Jesus do? And what would it... Baby, I didn't have the kiss of Judah. And the kiss of Judah was the motherfucker that I even had kids with. My Judah, I had several Judahs. Bet y'all don't know how that feel. Now y'all sitting here, oh, we triumphing, baby. You ain't triumphing from nothing. All those obstacles and challenges that you try to put in my way, they're going to come your way. All those wish fulfillments that you thought you was about to fulfill, that you have been fulfilling, they go away. All those alliances that you had, triumph, they're going to be revealed today. You getting real impatient about success and things like that, that you're going to conquer somebody that you're trying to put away. Oh, what's her name? Shit, y'all shouldn't even want to try to plan any plots or escapes to anybody. Y'all not already know y'all already got 2 white women on the news. Then died out here in Puerto Rico. College students. So now y'all want to put up the fake facades that y'all, oh, we protect. Nah, y'all just trying to figure out who's selling the weed and who's selling the cocaine. Because that's taking away y'all money. But don't nobody be giving a care about none of that shit. It's like, it should be bored by now. Like, you should be bored. It's a one person with blonde hair. He may like to wear sandals a lot or something like that. Something with the color purple, blue. Like, this is somebody with royalty, but it's just like, eventually, everything that you're doing, eventually that lifestyle gets boring. I'll be the first one to say that shit got so fucking boring. I could watch it on the hub or something like that. It's cool. It get you your quick rocks off, but is it worth it? No. When you could be exploring the person that you supposedly say that you love, explore that person to the maximum. Because sometimes it might be parts of them, of their bodies, that they never explored, and be like, oh, wow, I do actually like this. That's the purpose of exploring each other's body. It may be uncomfortable for one or the other, but then it's just like, shit, after a while, and you seeing, hey, this makes my partner happy. It makes me happy to see that they're happy. Okay, well, we can make this happen. Figure out other ways. Somebody need to go to fucking counseling, family and marriage, love and marriage. This is like somebody that's like a housewife and the husband work, but then it's like the way he works and he come home. And this is one of those love and marriage. I don't remember the song, but I think the wife's name was like Peggy or some shit like that. But yeah, like, I'm hearing like a person that feel like she a mob wife or something like that. Like, yeah, you might be a mob wife, but you gotta understand, being a wife of the mob, you gotta understand, truth of the matter of it is, and I'm gonna give you hard truth, you ain't in authority. Your nigga is. But depending on what he runs with himself morally, you be like, he's been so sweet to me, he loved me. Okay, it's like Belly. He fucking with you, but shit, you like Keisha. One of y'all hoes is good, the other one got strung the fuck out. May the strongest bitch win. And you apparently not that strong because you feel like you calling shots from within, because I could call him and his mans and the women with them. But guess what? Some of them real ass women that's within, okay, we keep his secrets. But the biggest part of it is, long as he giving me true loyalty, we ain't got to talk about none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, we good over here. Ain't no secrets. Ain't none of that. If he did some fuck shit, you should know about every little bit of that. But then it's like you get mad because the truth of the matter is coming out from somebody else. And it's like, how dare this person do this behind my back? Nobody did nothing behind your back. You thought you was running that. And then you going after a person that you may not have known, that this person probably, you as the judge or the mob wife or whatever, oh, I want her gone because she doing this and she doing that and da-da-da-da. But you don't know that your mob man that's running the show probably already had his eyes and hands in that pot already. But you don't know what is involved in none of that. You don't know when you sitting there trying to put the hit out with these other people, because my man knows what I do. But now your man fit to come after your dumb ass because you messed something up that he needed to do. Boss move. Now you think, oh, yeah, she can make runs over you. Okay, the only thing she got to do is respect. Okay, you his woman, but shit, when it comes to it, shit, if he got to choose between you and the person he making money with, he gonna choose his money over you, boo. Kids won't be touched with. Kids will be well taken care of, whether you here or not, honey. This the rules of the game. Run game on people that don't know the game. Run the game on somebody that can strategically not figure out what the hell is going on. Run game on a motherfucker that won't be able to figure out if your home is already fucked up. Pick on somebody, and also energetically be mindful of who you speak on. Choosing to speak on. I don't care if you've never looked up this person, spoke on them, see a picture of them, but you just getting wind about, hey, who is this girl that such and such is talking about? Because she said this, da. Okay, you just decided to run your mouth on somebody. It's a rainbow again as I'm saying this. You choosing to speak on somebody because you heard something else from somebody versus you being that person bold enough, thug enough. Because you ain't thug life unless you deciding to go ahead. Let me step to this person. Let me approach this person to build my own thing because I'm not for to judge nobody off their looks. I'm not for to judge nobody about what it is that they're into. Shit, it might be a fucking local crackhead that you know that could probably rebuild your fucking car inside out more perfect than what it was before you even bought it. It could be somebody homeless right now that could probably give you more knowledge about a business or about something that you can do strategically. That shit, you probably be like, you probably making 6 figures, but you can be making 7, 8, 9 figures after talking to this person that you just, oh, they look like a hoochie mom. They look like a hooker. They look like a prostitute. They look like they dirty. Yeah, they look like that, but they gave you some kind of insider information that allowed you to stand your ground and to speak your truth and no longer have to make this secret sacrifice for your fucking life that can be messing up your health, your wealth, your mentality, your image or anything, or alter your reality. Somebody's going to lose victory and success. Somebody, spiritual strength, spiritual wisdom, knowledge. I'm of the light. Very, you know what I'm saying? Swiftly, luckily. I was lucky. God been blessing me. Hold on. You can make it. You can make it, baby. I'm able to make it anywhere, and it's like I'm not going to give up a fight and give up my dream because people are being racist. And what do you mean? And how you know these things? It's like your operation is not easy to sting, but the quickest thing is that you're gonna worry about, baby. I've been being investigated for years. Oh, this is new. Just because something new come in your motherfucking town or in your city or up in your motherfucking neighborhood, mind your motherfucking business. If they ain't fucking with you, don't go fucking with them. Now, if it's looking weird, make an approach. Figure out what it is and why they there. But you pussy. And I said it. You a coochie. I said it. Because you wasn't man enough or woman enough to be like, hey, you know what, bring you here. I ain't leaving the motherfucking island, bitch. I ain't leaving no motherfucking where. As long as my son's ashes are here, I ain't moving. But I ain't disappearing either. And even if I do disappear, I'm still alive. When God got you, the Most High got you, ain't nobody able to ever be against you. You could set up the coldest plot, the coldest setup. And as soon as you getting ready to do that, it gets shut down right in the midst of it happening. It's called silver lining. Some of y'all need to look up science, social, economic experiments that they got going on. Social, economic, environmental, agricultural. There's government political sciences and theories that they're testing from the 1950s in particular countries. They're using theories and methods from 1950s. Only the smart ones and the real woke ones can realize, like, oh shit, they did this shit in 1950. You go back, read back in the histories about certain documentations, articles that were out. Some of them are still publicly out. Some of them you might even have to go to the public library just to find those archives. And you'll be so surprised, like, what the heck? These are people, this is like people, I don't care if it's a judge or whatever. I'm hearing doctora. So this is a female. This is a woman. Female doctor. So this person got like a PhD, a judge degree or something like that. Like this person got a maximum degree of whatever it is that they're studying. This is somebody that got like at least 2 or 3 kids. 3 to 5 kids. It's the truth. Somebody's about to get living proof about whatever it is that they felt like they family, mother, parents were doing or something like that. But shit, are you scared enough? Are you bold enough? Are you gonna be man enough to stand up about what it is that you seeing or what you speaking up on? Because choosing not to, that's why y'all keep going through what it is that you go through. I can even realize that and recognize that I watched a documentary about Afro Latinas that are here in Puerto Rico that look black. I remember watching the television shows here in Puerto Rico. You will see everybody that looks like the Spaniard or the white look, and then you'll see like maybe 2 to 3, no more than 3, maximum of 4 black people or the Afro Latina people, and they will have the Spanish black one that looks black. They will have to wear their afro or something like that, or wear their hair real natural, or it'll be a big girl or something like that. And it's like appropriation is everywhere. That's why Africa took down like shit. If you ain't Africa, Negro, black, it's not going to be supported. But the sacrifice that some people gonna have to make, it's like some of y'all is just so stuck in your shadow of sacrifice about your sexuality or about your divinity, about what it is that you're really doing. Like, baby, cut it out. For the longest, for years, even from political years, for years and years, from slavery, for almost 500 years now, butt bucking. Go look up what butt bucking is. And then y'all learn to understand why it's not shame or nothing like that, or people trying to pick on you about what it is that you prefer. Mind you, it's again preference, what you prefer sexually in your bedroom. They ain't got nothing to do with it. But it's like you got to understand some people's mentality about coming out of this monstrosity of what was happening to these people when it comes to society. Because it's like, when we got to socialize amongst each other, you got to think on them slave trades, them plantations, the Portuguese, the Africans, any of those, the Tainos. They got to remember all them years of times when they had to get whipped, chained, sawed up, beat on, and especially the men. So it was more women having to step up into that man role and listen to their intuition. Like, hey, master fit to come over here. You better make sure that you say and look down. Like, it was most of the women saving these men. You not know how humiliating it would feel. I don't care where you are in the world. But imagine if you had to go back then and back in them days and see your ancestors get tied up and them slave masters taking your innocence of your father, of your brother, of your uncle, your grandpa. Somebody publicly, openly doing this in front of everybody. That's why when it comes into it, I won't stand on shame. You publicly inhumane, humiliated. It was something like that. You took my human rights, my basic human rights, of what I supposed to have been doing in my privacy of my own bedroom and my own bathroom. Violated. Put it in on Twitter, OnlyFans, Shade Room. Ooh, look what she can do. Now I gotta worry about spirits or entities or energies coming towards me, unbeknownst to me, because you wanted to put those things on the internet, or you wanted to be part of this industry or this society so fucking bad. Why couldn't you create something that allowed you to be in your authority? Some of this stuff was so unauthorized, unorthodox. I don't know if you're religious or that. Like, baby, they come ask me. Because, baby, my heart is always on fire for the Lord, for the Most High. The Holy Ghost done hit me. The Most High been working through me since I was a little bitty ass kid. If you cannot remember anything from the time that you were 3 years old, baby, you're still stunted. I don't care if you remember more of the joys or you remember most of the pain. Do you remember? How did you heal from it? Because all my problems and all my traumas and all my pains, I was fixing it up through my children. Through my children, I was learning through what plan. Wherever I felt like I got frustrated when it came to my kids, that shit happened to me as a kid. Because you can only get triggered as much as it is than what it was that happened to you as a kid. So when I'm getting frustrated and angry, ready to snap when it comes to my kids misbehaving, acting up, I learned to take a pause, step back. What is it that led to that? Especially when I had, my autistic son. Hey, he was really nonverbal, but he could say a few words. But even then, I had to study cues. I had to study what it is that he needed. And then when he was frustrated because he couldn't communicate to tell you, hey, I'm sore, I'm sick, I'm tired, I can't hear you, my ear hurt, my throat hurt. My son couldn't tell me that shit. But considering that I was dealing with a dude that, hey, he was letting me know, hey, I'm into fraud, I'm into scamming. And I should have had my answer right there, like, hey, you fit to get fraud and you fit to get scammed in some kind of way. But shit, at least I had grew up in a different time, in a different era, that shit, at least there was still honor amongst fucking thieves. Yeah, thieves back then, back in the 90s, early 2000s, a fucking thief could have some fucking hard ass integrity. But shit, at least he was, you know what I'm saying, a hard one, a thug ass one. He was bold enough to let you know, like, hey, shit, at least you had an indication to know that, hey, if something ain't going my way or something like that, or the money don't look okay or seem okay, I'm gonna do something in a different way. At least I knew that back in the day, because I grew up around it so much. I knew how they would manipulate the morgues, the DNA systems. Shit, down to the fact, shit, you could be going to the clinic. You sitting there like, mind you doing everything safely. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do. But then it was like, shit, I didn't know that it was so cold that motherfuckers would go out here intentionally. Like my first, James Henry Taylor the Fifth. But I didn't know Josh was like that too. But then it was like his tendencies and behavior made sense that I was like, okay, I couldn't X him out of any of this either. But my ex-husband was so cold that if he had, I don't care if the nigga had HIV. Okay, if he had HIV and he knew like, okay, well shit, it's gonna fuck up my life, he would have made it his business to sleep with any and everybody. I don't care if it was a man or a woman, because he mad and he angry because y'all gave me this stuff. So now he James, he was the type of person, he was gonna make everybody suffer. Oh, you gave me AIDS? He was the type of person, all right, I caught it, I'm gonna give it to you. So now when I give it to you, your job is to go give it to them so they don't get to live happy ever again. And it was like, the reason being how I knew so much about that, it was because I got tired of fucking crying. You imagine going to give birth to a kid, because anytime sexually, my kids came out of those years due to the simple fact, when I was getting ready to leave this man, I would end up pregnant again. And with me being pregnant, and then it will leave me to have to figure out like, shit, how I'm gonna do childcare, how I'm gonna do this and this and this. He knew that because he was going to get tarot readings and stuff like that. So if you know somebody's full birth chart, all you need to know is they fucking moon sign. But the little did he fucking know, he operated off of a birth chart, off of a fake birth certificate. That's not even my real fucking birthday. So I'll keep going on with January 8th, make it look great. But it's not even my real fucking birthday. But with me thinking and feeling and knowing like, hey, this is my birthday, of course, you can do anything. You can do anything with that kind of information. Brujeria, voodoo, hoodoo, black magic, you can do all that stuff. If you know prevalent stuff, or a person knows astrology or stuff like that, it's too easy for them to do that. A psychologist, that's why a lot of people, or psychiatrists and stuff like that, they into spirituality. Ain't no way for you to be a psychiatrist or a psychology and psychologist and not know about fucking spirituality. Period. Certain doctors as well. Ain't no way for you to not fucking know about spirituality, hoodoo, voodoo, and none of that. You're not able to be a doctor without knowing about the holistic aspects of everything. It's just 10 times out of 10, you get paid more for working in the hospital than holistic medicine. But then the thing of it is, with doctors that do participate in holistic medicines, they know the herbs and stuff like that that can actually heal you. or go ahead and kill you depending on what diagnoses you already have. If I put certain acids or certain fruits or flavors or herbs in your drink or your food, you can either help me or you can hinder me in one way or another. It's just depending on how you look at it. Where are your a lot of people be doing the work so hard, like they be professionals. There's professionals that do this shit. Hoodoo voodoo work, conjuring up stuff. It's professionals to do that. But however, how deep and rooted that it is, some of them are still trained, confirmation from the old slave days. But however, some of the people forget back in the old slave days, the white folks had more power over anybody. Or people in royalty positions had advance over those people. Because yes, they will make it their business to get the French, the Spanish, the African slaves to be like the good nursers, to feed them, to cook for them and stuff like that, because they was the ones that knew this. But when the revolt happened from Haiti, the reason being why Haiti was able to take over, because they was able to manipulate and mind play Ultra MK and get over on these people for years to come, because they had to learn the psychology of how these people thought, how they moved, how they behaved. It was even down to the fact that, hey, some of these kids would get, taken advantage of and stuff like that, but they knew, hey, it was a sacrifice or a disadvantage, but they knew this, like, okay, we can manage that, we can heal that, and we can work on what it is that we need to do to get our land back. Haiti was the only one that fought for theirs. Dominican Republic, okay, but the thing of it is, y'all were all Haiti. Haiti was Hispaniola, so that's where it originated at. On top of those people that originated and got the revolt, they were supposed to take that stuff back to the motherland, back to Africa, to make sure that they had the even appropriate or uplifted or upgraded techniques of what was happening, because you need to go to the motherland. The strength is in Africa. Africa is breaking their ties with a lot of people because they understand the misuse of what it is that people will do with it. That's why it's like when y'all getting these tarot readings and people doing them, okay, you giving the tea probably to the wrong somebody. You done let somebody, listen, 3 white birds come through harmony, the truth. I'm not making this up. People will talk about you whether you doing bad or good, just to see what it is that they can get up out of you. And if they feel like you in heartache, heartbreak, or anything in that kind of case, they'll use that against you. So that's why when it comes to it, shit, I'ma understand Lucifer, the morning star, inside and out. Don't play with me. I work for the Most High. But the Most High told me, hey, you study your enemies. They ain't got to be close. They sure the fuck ain't got to be far. But keep them near enough. But most of the time, shit, you ain't even got to go near it. It's going to come to you. Because your light is going to aggravate them. So they want to be drawn to you. What is it that you do? What is it that you talk about? And it's you. They mental abuse, disruptions, distractions, anything that could take you out off your light, off your path of what you're doing. Like for me, I had a lot of things going. I was going to work. I was going back to school. I was going to tech school. Like I was going to university, tech school, working, taking care of my kids, and working on my finances. Come on, as a single parent at that time, I had all 7 of my kids. Come on now. Sleeping was for the weak. Sleeping is for the weak. It was time for me to harvest something to make the change of what I needed to do for me, because, you know what I'm saying? It was like I had so much love for my ex-husband, and it was like I had craved and desired for a family. And then once I realized, like, hey, shit, it just is what it is. It ain't working for me. You keep it fucking pushing. But then I realized, you know what I'm saying, when something started to feel too comfortable for me, I move the fuck around, because it's like, if I feel comfortable in your energy, either you're a liar, you're a manipulator, you're a thief, you're doing something very low down. trying to plot on something. And in the instance, you know what I'm saying, like for him, I'm grateful for, the last dude, Josh, shit, I'm grateful for that motherfucker. He put me on so much game that it was just like, cool, you know what I'm saying? There's people willing to come to you, whatever, because it was like all my dreams that I was having about this man, about he had more men partners than it was with women. It was like maybe about 2 or 3 women in there, but the rest of them was men. And it was just like you going to parties and stuff like that, and he was into, BBCs and black, he was into all that. So it was just like, all right, it makes complete sense why you was so adamant about that being for me. So it's just like, the positions and stuff like that. It's just like most of the time, a lot of people's stuff that goes on in their life is because one part or not, it's not being satisfied in their life. And most of the time, it'd be the sexual part. But the biggest part of the whole situation, once you realize everything that's going on, there's litigations to everything. For me, in my instance, I know it has to do with money in a home. And only thing I ask for any fucking body, if you made it to this part of it, please just give me my money and leave me alone. We ain't got to talk about it. You ain't got to apologize about none of it. You know what y'all doing. You know you wrong. Y'all know you dead wrong. But it's all forgiven though. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Success comes to those who still gonna practice on what it is. Harmony, fertility, suffering in silence. It's like I prefer to suffer in silence about what it is than, having to know what it is and still try to sleep with one eye open, one eye closed. It's all gonna work out for a highest good though. But understand that people will try to disrupt you, trying to see what it is that you're gonna do, because it's not much that they can see anymore. But prosperity is coming in the end. Don't let people feel like you weak or like you're not spiritual or nothing like that. In my instance, baby, I'm more attuned to the spiritual than what it is in the physical. And then me aligning my spiritual to the physical, it just makes complete sense to a point where it's just like, why get mad? Why get angry? Even though it's like people want to provoke it. So it's just like work on those instances where you feel like you're weak at, because somebody's gonna try to do it. So at this point, watch your back. I'm watching mine. I hope you're watching yours. I hope you enjoy the live. I hope you listen to it from A to Z so you can have a complete, clear understanding. Over and out.